this is Jo from Cranberry Beads here. Today we're going to be making a herringbone rope bangle. There are many things that you can do with the herringbone rope, but today we'll just keep it nice and simple and do this. I'll show you some other examples of what I've made as well. So let's take a look at the bead mat. Here is the bracelet. It's a simple 4-bead around tubular herringbone. Okay, and I've used a simple repeating pattern of 9 red, silver, 3 red, silver, and repeated that all the way around just to give it some little bit of interest. These are quite narrow and dainty. You can easily make several of these and stack them, and they just roll right over your wrist. So really lovely to make. Of course, you don't need to make a bracelet. You can make a rope to hang a pendant from it. And this is the Kate pendant, which is available on the website as a kit in many different colours. And I've also joined the ends of this as well. It's sometimes just easier to do that if it's long enough to go over your head. No need to add a clasp. Join the ends, you're done. Another one I made that I invested a lot of time in was this one here. Okay, it sort of looks like a tangled mess, but it's actually a very long rope that you slip over your head, and I joined sections of it together with these rope knot features. Okay. These are random lengths of colour blocks and all separated by gold, but I really enjoyed making this over a longer period of time. It's a very good stitch to pick up and put down between other more complicated projects. So lots of things that you can make with this technique. It doesn't have to be in this pattern. Stay tuned to the end of the video and I'll show you some different colorways and options that you can think about as well. So let's get started making the bangle. I'm going to be using 1G thread today and a size 10 needle, and I'm going to be using 2 colours of size 11 seed beads. These are both Miyuki seed beads, but first I'm going to use this small other different colour bead as a stop bead. So I bring it down. I don't know, you don't need too much of a tail, just weave in. And I'm going to make a circle around that bead, and that will just keep your beads onto the thread while we start beading. Now, we're going to start this herringbone rope with a 4-bead ladder. Okay, there are many ways to do this, but we're just going to show you one to start with. So you pick up the 2 beads, put them side by side, and create that loop. Pick up 1 bead, form a circle around the bead you're coming out of. There we are. It's the 3rd one added. Pass back through so you're in the end bead. Pick up 1 bead. Do the same. Come back up. So now we've got a ladder of beads 4 wide. Now I'm going to join this into a circle by going in through this first one. It's going to create not a circle so much as a tube, and then coming up through this bead here. So if we're looking at it end on, you've got this little tube. Let me put this in focus a bit better. There we are. Okay, so that's the start of our rope, which is really a tube. Now, we can work clockwise or anti-clockwise. It doesn't really matter. But what you want to be doing is picking up 2 beads and then going down the next bead. Now bring them down and help them sit side by side. Now come up the next bead. So working in a circular fashion around these 4 beads. And we pick up 2, go down the next bead. Help them sit side by side. And then we're coming up 2 beads. So whichever bead you're coming out of, the one next to it is the one you go up, and the one above it to step up. So there's only 4 beads in each round. We do the same, pick up 2 beads, go down 1, go up 1. I'm usually turning my work as I progress around. Don't forget to go up 2 beads, otherwise it will not stay straight. Yep. So your top row is always going to be splayed out a little bit. Don't worry, that is normal. We just repeat the process. It's a nice, easy stitch. It's quite meditative. And it's a good one to do if you're beading with friends, because apart from remembering to step up, it doesn't take too much concentration. Of course, I'm just using one colour at the moment. We are. It's a bit difficult to see the pattern, but they're sort of sitting not side by side, but sort of in that little herringbone pattern. And once you've got the hang of the basics, you can then, of course, add in different colours. So let's add in a row of silver. And it creates quite a striking contrast straight away, doesn't it? Go back to the red. There we are. So this is what it will look like as you're beading it. It's all nice and neat rows, and then the top is splayed open a little bit like a tree. Okay, so keep beading that until it's as long as you want it to be, and then we'll look at what we might do with it next. I've made this length of rope now, but I need to add some more thread, so I am going to show you how to add in a new thread. First I am going to I'm going to weave down a little. Might go down a little bit further. Depends how much thread you have left. And then come up a little. If you have a shorter amount of thread, don't take such big passes. And then go down again. And that should be enough to secure your thread. So I'm going to cut that off. Start a new thread. I don't need too much more thread. So I'm only going to thread my needle with a short piece. And I want to be coming up this column because when I add the next lot of beads, there'll be a pair over the top of these two beads. So I'm going to weave up here a little and work my way around the columns. Making sure I follow the thread path. If I pull that now, it's not quite tight enough, so I'm going to go down and up one more time. Changing directions when you're weaving in thread is the best way to secure them. So now if I pull that, it's not loose. I can snip off this thread and carry on doing a few more rows. And when I've got to the desired length, I'm going to show you how to join the ends together. So I shall do a little bit more. And then come back. So I have the desired length that I want for my bangle and I want to join the two ends together. But if you're doing a sequence like me, make sure that the two ends are the matching sequence. I've got a sequence of 9 and then 3 red beads between the silver, and here in this section that I'm joining, I've got 7 on this side and 2 on this side, so that makes up the 9. I'm going to remove this stop bead, just slide that off, we don't need that anymore. Now my thread is a little shorter than I would like, so I'm probably going to use the threads on both sides to join them. But first off, we may need to make sure that it's not twisted, okay? We don't want like a little twist in our bangle. We want them to lie flat like this. So putting them on your bead mat and lining them up is the best way. And what I want to do here is this row of beads is going to join in with this one. So I'm going to go up a few beads, try and do it while it's on the bead mat. And I need to turn it around this way. Now I am going to go up the next column and then back into the other side. And just lay that down, make sure that is still not twisted. That's right. I'm going to have to turn it over to sort of join the other side. I'm going to go up here, back into this side. Oops, and my needle has come unthreaded there because it's a bit short. But you can see it's a nice seamless join here, but we do need to fasten this off so that it will not come undone. So I'm going to use my tail thread. Weave back and forth, making sure that the beads snug up at about the same tension to the rest of your beadwork. And make sure you join it on all sides as well. Going back and forth across that join. And I think that's pretty good now. Maybe just do one last pass of the needle. And there we are. Nice secure join. And once you're happy that it's secure, weave off the ends. I was lucky this time, just managed to join it with the thread that I have left. But if you don't have enough thread, you can join in a new thread because you know how to do that now. So there we are. This is our bangle. This just rolls onto my wrist nice and easily. If it twists when you're rolling it on, just unroll it. And there we are. Nice bangle. You don't have to add a clasp or anything like that. Great to stack these is do several with lots of different colours, variations, and stack them. Enjoy making this simple herringbone bracelet. I wanted to share some other ideas for patterns and colour variations in your simple 4-bead herringbone tubular rope. If we take a look at this one initially, this is using delica beads which have straight sides, so it gives it a different look, and also I've changed the pattern. If you look at the 4 beads at the end of the rope, we're picking up 2 dark blue and 2 light blue. And we do two rows like that, and then we alternate it. So we sit the dark blue on top of the light blue and vice versa for 2 rounds. So that's the effect you get with that. This one is a little bit similar, but we also have intersections of 3mm bugles, which really break it up and give it a nice repetitive pattern. But the bits in between, instead of picking up 2 colours the same, you'll pick up 1 dark blue and then 1 light blue for your pair, and then 1 dark blue and 1 light blue. And on the next round you alternate it, so the different colour beads are sitting on top of the other bead. So another interesting idea. And then this one here, these beads in these are size 11 seed beads, but then we move on to using slightly bigger beads. These are check size 8, and then we have a triangle size 8, and then a size 8, and then back to a triangle 8 and a check 8. Okay, so you can mix up your different sizes to get these different looks. But I do repeat the pattern. I think I'm a fan of a repeating pattern. So there you are. There's just some ideas of what you can do with exactly the same stitch, but how you can get very different looks. So give it a go and see what you come up with. Will you make a small bangle? Will you make a nice rope? You could just do a plain rope. You don't need a pendant to hang on it. you could also do that as well. Endless possibilities with this stitch. If you've enjoyed watching this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and consider watching some of our other videos too.